fam. Hi, guys. I hope you are well. I hope you're doing good. I would like to really apologize to all of you who have been waiting for these videos. I know I've met a couple of you, and you told me, you know what, you don't understand the impact that you have in our lives. Otherwise, you wouldn't be just disappearing on us like that. I would like to really apologize for that. And it is not because I'm being selfish. It is not because, I don't think about the person who's expecting these videos on the other side of the side, but it is because I have been so overwhelmed. In the last video, I did share that I started work in May. So, May, June has been two of the toughest months I've ever had in a long time. Being at home for 3 whole years and studying full time, and now being introduced to the workspace, having to study still, having to keep up with these videos has been so much. And I also had to move provinces in the mix of all of that. It was so much for me that I just couldn't get the time or get myself to do these videos. So guys, I'd really like to apologize. I've been feeling so bad for the past month and a half now for not doing these videos. But in this week, I reminded myself of the lessons I've learned in the past 3 years. I realized that in the past 3 years when I was home, God was training me. He was developing a certain character in me that would be needed now where I am, because it is tough. The workload is a lot, but I still need to maintain my peace. And I have been struggling in all areas. I tell you, I've been complaining like nobody's business. I come to work and already I'm heavy burdened. It has been basically everything that I have learned just flew out the window, and it took only this week. Right? On Monday, really, I went home and I sat down with myself and I asked myself, what is it that you've been learning for the past 3 years? What is it that you've been teaching people for the past 3 years? The main gist of what I have learned in the past 3 years is that my peace is my responsibility. And it seemed like I had forgotten all of that. The way I have been complaining, guys, I've been complaining about everything, the workload, the time, my colleagues, everything, okay, that could be complained about. So, it has been tough. It has been tough for me, but I had to sit down with myself and remind myself all the lessons that I've learned and of all the teachings that I've been teaching you. So today I want to go back. I'm here. I'm here. Let's talk about change, guys. How much do we embrace change really? And in the midst of experiencing change, are we able to maintain our peace? I am Philemons, your inner voice magnified. Guys, if you are new to my YouTube channel, hi, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. I hope you'll find the content on my platform worthy enough for you to subscribe. And if you have already done so, please get your people and their people to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Guys, I thank you so much for all the feedback. I thank you so much for everyone who's been telling me, Pula, we miss you, Pula. You don't understand the void you've left in our lives, because by saying that, it reminds me that I actually serve a certain purpose with these little videos that I do every morning. So I appreciate your feedback. Oh my gosh, guys, I've just realized I forgot my ring. Why? Anyway, sorry. No, that is a side note. Okay, but yeah, I really appreciate your honesty towards me and really sharing your vulnerabilities with me, right? But guys, how much do you embrace change? In the past month and a half, I've experienced a lot of changes just moving provinces. took a lot out of me. And it was just not moving provinces, but actually being separated now from my husband. You know, before, me and him would separate and it was okay. It was sad, but okay, right? But this time around, I took such a knock and I realized that actually the relationship between me and him means a lot more because of what I have learned throughout the 3 years when I was at home of our relationship, right? How much this relationship means to me, how much him being in my life means to me, right? So separating from him this time around was a bit more difficult because the marriage has just grown that much, and my understanding of his role in my life has just grown so much, right? Secondly, I was introduced back into the workspace. You know, I have been cocooned for the last 3 years, and God was teaching me everything that He was teaching me. I became the woman that I am right now. But something about being brought back into a space where there are all kinds of personalities. You have to learn again. It was like learning from scratch. It is. It still feels like learning from scratch on how to deal with people. Because remember, I left work, and a year later, we were in COVID. We had a COVID pandemic, and we were in level 5 lockdown, level 4s, and all of those lockdowns. So I wasn't even going to church. I wasn't going to work. I was literally at home, and I would see those few people that I would see, my helper and our gardener. Those were the people that I would interact with, right? And family, I would see after a long time, or we would talk on the phone, but it was not a personal contact kind of relationship that I had with people. So now all of a sudden, I feel like I've been thrown into this deep end where there's so many people around me, so many different characters, and so many different value systems, right? Guys, it has been such a difficult journey for me to adjust. So I thought let's talk about change, because it is on Monday, only this week, that I reminded myself of the person that I have become. I've been trying to remind myself ever since then that my peace, first of all, is my responsibility. And I need to embrace change. You know, not only was I complaining about the people around me, the work that I have to do. I mean, I'm grateful for the job, but the workload just was so much that I couldn't stop complaining. I realized that, you know, it is when we don't embrace change that we lose our peace. Because I was complaining about the work, I was complaining about the people, and I felt like if people could just change, my life would be easier, right? But then, okay, then my HR person just came in. My HR manager just dropped in. She's thinking, what is this woman doing at work? Guys, pause. Hi guys. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So I was talking about change, how we need to embrace change. It was on Monday when I started looking at my life for the past 1.5 months, and who I had become. This complaining person, this ungrateful person. And you know, this week I have really been trying to remind myself of the person I am, right? The person who doesn't complain, the person who is grateful, the person who sees lessons in every moment or experience, right? So I'm trying to remind myself of those. I'm not there yet, and that's what I'm trying to bring to your attention today. You know, every time I would do these videos, I would always say, I hope really, guys, these are getting to you. You understand where I'm coming from. So when you're learning a new habit, or when you're adjusting to a new environment, the thing is, it will not be easy, right? That's why I always say at the beginning of the year, choose that one thing that you will work on to improve yourself, that you will work on in order for you to have peace. It's not that when you choose that thing, then it means automatically you can do that thing. It means every day you have to remind yourself, in the middle of complaining about somebody and how they are not giving you peace, then you at some point you will stop and remind yourself, okay, it's not their responsibility to give me peace. If I want peace, I need to have it on the inside of me, right? So I am training myself to remember all the lessons that I have learned. It will not be as easy as I was at home, and it hasn't been easy, right? And I'm learning to incorporate all of these lessons that I've learned for the past 3 years into a space where there are different characters, where there are different people with different value systems, right? So today I just wanted to say to you, I know you might be going through a lot. You might be going through a lot of changes, and you feel like, last year or last month I was able to do this and this and that, and now you are stressing because you feel like you're dropping the ball because there are certain changes that are happening in your life. First of all, in order to have peace, the one thing that you can try is to accept that things are not the same as last month. Things are not the same as yesterday, right? There are changes that have happened in your life, and you need to acknowledge that. And once you acknowledge that, because things are not the same, it means then what you could do in the previous era of your life or season of your life, maybe it won't be possible in this season, or maybe it will need a little bit more effort and more work to be able to do it. Maybe you will have to come up with creative ideas of being able to achieve these things. So for me, usually I would record these videos at home, and now I just couldn't find a proper time to record them. But I've been worried about it. I've been asking myself, I've been asking God for ideas, and eventually I came up with the idea of, you know what, actually I can come very early at work, an hour before I need to start work. That will be a proper time for me to record these videos, enhance my environment, you see. So at some point, when you are going through a change, it will be difficult. But when you start sitting down and realizing that things are different, so you need a different strategy, that's when good ideas will start coming on how to deal with your change. So don't be too hard on yourself when you cannot handle things the way you used to. Maybe you used to be a bubbly wife, a bubbly girlfriend, a bubbly friend, but now you have a child, you find yourself being, so secluded from people. You don't want to be involved in people's lives because you just want to take care of your child in this season. Embrace that side of you. Don't feel guilty about other relationships. What is important for you in this present moment? You need to prioritize. Once you've prioritized, make peace with the fact that you won't be able to be that superwoman that you used to be, or superman that you used to be, because there are certain changes that have happened. So deciding what is priority right now, and deciding that, for everything else that I cannot do, I will make peace because I'm only but one person, is so important. So guys, embrace the change, embrace everything that is happening in your life, and until you figure things out, be at peace with the chaos that is happening. I am Willamons, your inner voice magnified. Guys, don't forget to do the right thing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.